Alright. Hello fellow viewers and welcome to the very first edition of Safari Saturday. And as it says in the description of this video, we will try to use RNG manipulation to get shinies in the Safar-Zone. And for the first time, we're probably going to cover Area 1. So there's different areas in the Safar-Zone in the Hoenn games. And they all yield different Pokemon. So the Pokemon that are on the thumbnail of this this stream will showcase the Pokemon that we will get. So what you notice here is I cannot save while I'm in the Safar-Zone. So if I get a shiny, I have to click on Schluss, which means just stop the Safari hunt, and save outside and then go back again. So that's gonna cost me 500 Poké-Dollars per shiny, but luckily it's not like I'm poor, as you can see here. So oh, I just noticed Geometry Orb has posted, "Help me, are you okay, buddy?" You're the first. Don't know, I think a couple others are here too. Although, I'm not sure. Because I can't exactly tell who is watching my streams. But you are welcome to the stream. And I hope you are okay. Right, so we use the Pokéfinder program. And when you want to go to the Safari-Zone, you have to look up at this encounter type. And then you click on Safari-Zone. Weirdly enough, the Safari-Zone is in the drop-down menu of encounter and not location. That might be a bit confusing at first, but no problem. So it automatically shows you Safari-Zone Area 1. There's 1, 2, 6. And we have the ability to get a Oddish, a Girafarik, a Natu, a Doduo, a Gloom, a Wobbuffet, and a Pikachu. Some of these I already have, but like with Wild Wednesdays, I don't care about duplicates. More than happy to get anything. And I also have my synchronizer with me. I actually have two. So this is a adamant synchronizer, and this is a quirky synchronizer. I'm gonna demonstrate something. When I pick quirky, I have to pick shiny, because we're outside. Sweet Scent Delay is gonna be 261. Hit generate, and as you can see, my quirky frames are at 13,737, at least that's the first one. And that is earlier than if I would use adamant. But I'm probably gonna go for both. Let me just check again. What was that again? When I click, that's slot 6. So that would be a Wobbuffet. No, it wouldn't be. Okay, is Gloom 6? Oh yeah, Gloom is 6. Okay. Alright, I think we're going for the adamant one first. Doesn't have to be Gloom. Although, why not? I do not have a shiny Gloom, so let's go with that frame. I mean, there's lots of frames that yield shinies here, and I'm probably gonna maybe hit this one or others. That's the fun about the format. So let's go. That's why I saved in front of the Safari guy earlier, because unfortunately you cannot save inside the Safari-Zone. So I'm gonna still try and catch a duplicate shiny should I get one. So that would be Oddish. I already have an Oddish, shiny Oddish. And that would also be, like I said before, okay, the synchronizer is in place, and we're just gonna hover over a sweet scent. So I might also mention, I also made some Pokeblocks, red Pokeblocks specifically, because adamant Pokemon like them. And it will make it easier for me to catch it. Sorry I'm late. Hey Classic, welcome back. I mean, my stream is no appointment. Come and go whenever you feel and whenever you can. Until now you haven't really missed anything. Just explain the roughly what we're dealing with, what we're doing. Oh, so actually, is Gloom? No, actually, okay. So Gloom is on this frame. What was that again? Slot 1. What is slot 1? Okay, that would be the earliest frame gives me an Oddish, it seems. That's slot 9. Slot 9. Wasn't that Wobbuffet? Yeah. Okay. So I'll roughly have an idea which frame I hit should I be off by a couple of frames. Which is always fun because sometimes you don't get the shiny that you were originally looking for. But still, any shiny is a shiny. And what I wanted to say before I mentioned the Pokeblock thing, is that even if I get duplicate shinies, I will catch them. And should I fail them, which can happen because this is the Safar-Zone, it's much riskier in that regard. They can just flee, and there's nothing I can do about it. Maybe you noticed that I don't have Rosina with me. That's a Pokemon, my Smeargle, that I usually always have with me, because she can help me. She's my catcher, basically, with False Swipe and Spore. But that is useless in the Safari-Zone, so I don't need her. Because you can't really battle against them. You are in the battle as a human, the trainer. And you have the choice of coming closer, which can frighten them, scare them off, so the wild Pokemon can run away. But it also makes it easier to catch the Pokemon, so it's a risk-reward thing. You have to think for yourself, is it worth it? Do I do it or don't I do it? And you also have the option of giving it a Pokeblock. And if you know usually you don't know in advance what nature the Pokemon will have, but with RNG manipulation, I know that every single shine is either gonna be adamant if I use my Espeon synchronizer, or it's gonna be quirky if I use my not Espeon, Umbreon synchronizer. So quirky ones don't have preferences. Adamant Pokemon like red blocks, and I've made some red blocks, so hopefully that will help. Let's see how this first reset will go. Let's see. Oh, that's a normal Natu. The shiny of that one really sucks. It's just a different shade of grey, but if I get that one, still. So maybe I'll show this. This is coming closer, and then you can choose this and then feed a Pokeblock. Really loves the Pokeblock. To be fair, that's a very good one. And then the other option is you have 30 Pokeballs, or Safari Balls as they're called. Oh, well, yeah, that is the gist of this whole thing. Dual stream in terms of chat? Yeah, you're right, but I got one of my hosts in chat, so I guess that will change pretty quickly. And yeah, I have more than enough time. I mean, 4 minutes to buy the entry ticket for the Safar-Zone, no problem. So area 1 is basically this grass patch, this patch of grass. And yeah, I think that's about it. Maybe this one as well. Okay, that I did not plan for, but it's not a problem. Right, so you go to Pokémon and you hover over Sweet Scent, and what I have to do here is click A the very moment the timer reaches 0. And if I've done that 2 times correctly, then I will get a shiny. And I will even be able to really deduce which frame I've hit. Don't think I'm gonna calibrate today. I don't think I need it. Human body is so cool. Oh yeah, it is. Your spine can act as your brain for certain actions for your muscles. Oh yeah, and if you've read the book, what's it called again? Of now I want to say an example and then I can't even think of the name. That's oh yeah, The Body Keeps Score. Written by a traumatologist, if I'm not mistaken, and the author really made clear in that book that even muscle memory really is a thing. Memories aren't only stored in your brain, they can also be stored in a different form, but still stored in your muscles or in your general central nervous system, and that is just really fascinating. So yeah, what Classic is saying is true. That's one fascinating fact about the human body. And I plan on streaming for at least 3 hours, I would say. Really want to see what I can get. Oh yeah, shiny Wobbuffet I also already have. That was the RNG, the egg that you get in that hot spring city, which I can't think of the English name right now, but only the German one, which is Bad Laberstadt. You know which city I'm referring to. That one, I RNG'd the egg to be shiny, and that why not has now turned into a level 100 Wobbuffet with good stats. I mean, it is Uber for a reason in Generation 3. Also, any Cyberpunk 2077 fans will know about the Sandevistan. I haven't played the game, but through cultural osmosis and because I've seen people play it, I know some things about Cyberpunk 2077. Good luck, thank you, darling. Yeah, good luck. I'm actually, this is the stream where I really need the luck, because the Pokemon can still, I mean, I can give it a Pokeblock and it's gonna be, that is tasty, and still flee. That can happen, and that's a normal oddish, very boring. Cute though, I have to admit, but I think really interesting will be the later areas in the Safari-Zone. There's some really interesting Pokemon I can get here, and I would love to have them as a shiny Pokemon. There we go. So yeah, many of these would be good as adamant. I mean the IVs are pretty okay as well, except for special defense that is pretty horrible, and speed is could be better, not lying, but like I always say, don't expect the best IVs with things like in general in Generation 3 RNG manipulation. If you want perfect IVs or near perfect IVs, you have to do special things like either ACE, so arbitrary code execution, or the painting or video battle video method. And there's enough resources on YouTube. For example, I'm a Blissey, really cool YouTuber. He inspired me to do RNG manipulation streams, actually. So I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, he has very good tutorials on how to do that. Yeah, just ruined that poor audacious day. Now I reset, so don't know where it went now. Well, that got existential really quick, didn't it? Okay, so let's check what I get. Quirky. Yeah, that is, I think, isn't... Yeah, exactly. That's the IVs that I got for Mew. Yeah, I do remember that. So those have pretty good special attack IVs. Attack, well, it doesn't matter in this case, but those two are... Oof. And they're gonna be male. So... Don't think I mentioned that yesterday, but yesterday was World Women's Day. But yeah, I think I'll stick to adamant for now. My brain isn't doing what it needs to do. Well, you are currently breathing, and your brain is, your heart is working. Well, your brain is definitely working, but your liver is working. I mean, what does your brain need to do at the moment? Yeah, that's fair. I didn't do anything really that special either. Oh, so you're single again, I assume? You'll find someone. I also thought that I'd never have any partner, and now I'm married for 4 years and together for 14, so it's possible. You just... Paradoxically enough, you don't have to put too much time into searching for one. I see. That is a normal Giraffaric. I immediately, my muscle memory is like, activate sweet scent, hover over sweet scent, but that won't do me any good when I'm at the reception of the Safar-Zone. You see, classic, sometimes my brain also does very strange things. It's just so ingrained right now. That's why when I'm a Blissey streams, I can stream at the same time because he uses a timer as well, the exact same timer that I'm using. And then that messes up my own RNG manipulation. Yeah, what's your question? drinking the tea that James gave me. He's not here, unfortunately, right now, but I'll tell him. It's good. Apple tea is one of my favorite. Music is kind of funky for a bit low key, but it definitely works. Does Finizen or Palafin use that one pufferfish Pokemon? Quillfish, you mean? For a high. Oh, it's just like the real life equivalent. I would say yes. Because that would be very funny. For those of you who don't know what this is referring to, in nature, actual nature, dolphins sometimes use the toxins of certain pufferfish to get high. And no, I'm not joking. They use that as a means of getting a special psychedelic experience. Dolphins are not the only animals that also use drugs in that regard. Chimps and other apes have also been seen eating certain mushrooms or fermented fruit, and yeah, with the explicit purpose of getting high, drunk, whatever you want to call it, tripping. There also seems to be a correlation between high intelligence and the likeliness of using chemicals, let's say, to get a different state of consciousness. Also, did you know that a species of eagle uses burning debris to draw out and hunt prey? Yes, I've actually seen it as well. Not only read about it, I've seen it on video. And I mean, a lot of birds are very intelligent because you need to be, evolutionarily speaking, it makes sense, because if you're a bird, you need to have very good eyesight, because you need to be able to see where you're flying, and you also need to compute, let's say, all these images that you get to see in a very short time span. That needs a lot of processing, so that explains why a lot of birds are very intelligent, because you need to be. Except owls, for example. Not all. Funnily enough, owls are not as intelligent as people always think they are. But they are hyper specialized after all, right? They only hunt in the dark. When you have eyes that are evolved to see well in the dark, you don't need to process a lot of images. You just need to see certain movements in the dark, and that's it. That's why a owl doesn't really need that much brain power. Doesn't need to see thousands of colors every day. Yeah, birds are definitely cool. They're dinosaurs of the modern age. And yeah, they are dinosaurs. I mean, the only surviving dinosaurs. The harpy eagle and the Australian firehawk, it's a hawk, I'm dumb as are my favorites. My favorite birds are emperor penguins. They also happen to be one of my favorite animals ever. Right next to cats, so Felis catus, the house cat, and goldfish. Other birds, I mean, there's not many birds I can list that I don't really like. I mean, I would have to think about that, but in general, I really like birds, and also like crows. I mean, I really like feeding them because it's so funny. They are so intelligent, they immediately recognize me even when I'm 100 kilometers away from my hometown. They still recognize me, and it's I mean, to be fair, I'm easily recognizable because I often wear pink and have really, really long blonde hair. So, the if you remember the Mew shiny hunt, that thumbnail my husband drew, that's basically what I look like in real life. So they do recognize me very, very quickly, and it's funny. Also, just watching them. Sometimes they play in the snow, it's really freaking cute. And there's some birds with beautiful colors. There's just so many types of birds out there with the wackiest styles, and it's so fascinating. Bird intelligence is always fascinating. Not just crows and ravens, also some parrots are highly intelligent as well. They even comes close to human toddler level of intelligence. So that is very impressive. Fitting how we are in a safari hunt and we talk about animals. That is really fitting. Though I'm not Australian enough to be Steve Irwin, and definitely not cool enough. Bless him, by the way. I liked his show when I was younger. It's always fascinating how he just grabbed very dangerous animals and he grabbed them like it was nothing, but he just did it with confidence, and they almost never attacked back. And I know what everyone's thinking right now. I don't know if I should even speak it out loud. I guess now it's too late, but yeah. Okay, it is too late. Such a tragedy that he got killed by an animal that usually isn't known to kill humans. Namely a stingray. Nope, normal giraffe. I think I'll go for quirky just because. So that would be this. Want a small snake. Like a ball python or a king python, or is it king python? I forgot. There's some pythons that don't really grow to be too big. Or at least some snakes that are definitely constrictor snakes. There are some that are very small, and it's not as dangerous to keep as a toxic snake. I don't even know why you would keep a venomous snake in the first place, but you do you. I would be way too scared for that. I also want to try gaining the trust of some crows. You need to feed them peanuts in their shell. They love that. I also, before we cook meat, my husband and I, before we cook meat, we take the gainy parts of the meat, we cut that, because that's not really nice to chew, and the crows can have it. Hey there, Dragon Destroyer 204. Welcome back to the stream. Till now we haven't had a shiny yet, so didn't miss out on too much. Emerald boa. Yeah, boa constrictor. Aren't all boas constrictors? I could be wrong, but I thought they all were. There's one boa that that becomes really freaking huge, so not sure how that would work. One of my roommates had 4 garter snakes. Oh, some kind of dwarf boa, but can't remember. Yeah, there's one boa that really doesn't become that big, but I mean, I had a boa on my shoulders once, and that thing was really freaking heavy and at least 3 meters long, I would say. I know ball pythons, I had friends who had them, and they don't really grow that big. And they're very comfortable. I mean, they are also apparently pretty low maintenance if you compare them to other reptiles. Because apparently they don't really move a lot. That's also how they behave in nature. At least that's what I've been told, and every python that I have seen has really behaved that way. So I assume it's correct. Just the thing is, classic with these snakes, you need to figure out how to feed them. Either you do it, you buy frozen rodents and you heat them up, so that would be pre-killed rodents. Those are usually, or hopefully, depending on where you buy them, they are hopefully euthanized in a way that doesn't require too much pain. So probably with a gas chamber or something. Okay, that sounds really dark. Oh jeez. The conversations in my streams sometimes. But yeah, that's how they do it with a gas. That's how they euthanize them. And then you can get them frozen. And then you have to thaw them out. And another friend of mine didn't want to do that because she told me the microwave would reek like dead rodents. I don't know if that is the best way to heat it up, so can't speak for that. But she gave live, so she fed them live, which also can go really wrong if the rat bites or the mouse bites. Or the rabbit, depends on the size, right? But and also that's not really the most comfortable way for the animal to die. I mean, I know it's live, it's a feeder animal, it's supposed to be, it's bred to be fed off, but still, I still want the meat that I eat to live a good life, right? So I don't buy very cheap meat because I refuse to buy meat from farmers or people who mistreat their animals. That doesn't have to be that way. There's a species of snake with a really pretty looking pearlescent glimmer to their scales. I know what you mean, but I also can't think of a name right now, but I have seen pictures of that. Buy them live and kill them myself. Actually, I don't know how the laws are. I know that in Luxembourg, if you would kill them yourself, it would depend on how you would kill them, and anything other than the what was it again? Carbon monoxide. I think they use. If you would do it with force, that would be illegal. At least that would be in Luxembourg. That would be not considered legal. I mean, of course, they can't really control that, but just saying, some people, I understandably have problems feeding a live animal to another animal. So that is something that you may need to be okay with if you want a snake, because one friend that I had who told me that the microwave would reek afterwards, her snake was pre-owned, so she got rescued from a hoarder type situation, and she just wouldn't eat frozen. Apparently the snake refused and almost starved, apparently, because of that. So it was a very stubborn snake, and she could only feed live. So she had to be okay with that fact. Either that, or you have to give the snake to someone who is ready to do that if you're not ready, which is understandable. But there are laws pertaining to how to treat animals, and I think you'd need to buy rats that are specifically meant to be feeder or mouse, or I mean, there's also insects that are sold as feeders for other reptiles, but usually people don't have that much empathy for insects as they do for rodents, which isn't really that correct if you think about it. Okay, let's see if that was a... What did I get? A non-shiny, so... Boo. Apparently the threat of the golden orb weaver spider has similar properties to the nervous system, and people have thought about using it as a replacement nerve system. That is the very first time I've heard of that, but okay, oops. I just pressed B, of course that's not gonna... That's not gonna work. If you keep mashing B, then it's gonna select no. But yeah, I've never heard of anything like that before. In what ways does it have similar properties? Chemically speaking? I mean, the nervous system is quite complex, right? There's just so many chemical reactions and electrical things happening. If you can really call it like that. A lot of electrons changing places. Especially potassium, and also there's some metals that are used in the nervous system, which I don't know why people think that is weird, but we have iron in our blood. That's why iron oxide, that is what makes your blood red. People just don't really understand how many metals are inside of us, but they are needed. What shiny would you like to see the most in this stream? Me personally, I'm hoping for Gloom and Girafarik and Natu, because I don't have them yet and I would really like to have them. Still pretty quiet, but maybe it's been what, a bit more than half an hour. That just doesn't feel like it. I keep saying this every single stream. That keeps happening. Yeah, Gloom looks pretty good as a shiny in this game. And would fit with the Pokeball, with the Safari Ball that you get. A lot of shinies here do fit with that ball, so that is pretty nice. If you're like me and you obsess and you have to have the fitting Pokeball for that Pokemon. Ah, there we go. Okay, so first one is a shiny Oddish. Okay. So the Rot, that's red, I'm not gonna use that. Because those are for the adamant ones. So I'm gonna try Lila, which is purple. Quirky ones don't even have preferences. Okay. Let's go a bit near it. And still there, good. Let's try a ball. And got it. All right. Sure, I'll save with that. Don't know about a nickname, but let's see. So I got a I can actually calibrate. I got a Oddish. To be fair, I'm not sure which Oddish. Okay, they're all gonna be male anyway. Okay, so I was 2 frames late. Interesting. Hit update. But yeah, now we have a... Oh yeah, you just have to click on this and then I leave. Because then I can save and do yet another reset. So I really need to clean up things here. This one. Have fun with the other shinies here. That's the Phoebus that I caught yesterday. These I caught last Wild Wednesday. That one I caught like when I was new to RNG manipulation. This is the shiny Rayquaza that I got in a stream, and this I got in a Wild Wednesday stream. So till now we got 1 Pokemon. Why not? That's pretty good. And I'm gonna reset with the calibration. Well, already, yeah. RNG manipulation just saves so much time. You save hours and hours of time that you would be using looking for a random shiny, but if you know to time it correctly, you get multiple. I know there's one Wednesday where I got over 10 shinies. That's when you are very good at timing. Because it's still a frame perfect input. It's still tricky, even though I'm doing this for about a year now. Maybe more. Welcome back, Classic. Got the first shiny. Shiny Oddish. And I could even figure out which one. Wait, I didn't check its level, and now I've forgotten, honestly, but I do think it was level 27, if I'm not mistaken. Flying aircraft carriers, are those these really large planes that carry heavy machinery? Don't like shiny hunting anymore with full arts. I don't think I'm gonna stop doing that in the future, but I mean, with RNG manipulation, I already have hundreds of shinies now, I think. I have so many freaking shinies now that I need to use Pokemon Box to transfer them because they're taking up a lot of space. So I can't believe that after all these years, I am at a point where I can say I have hundreds of shinies and I have to put them in another box thing, or else the PC boxes on the cartridges are just chock full. It doesn't work. Used to shiny charm and stuff they added in not Sword and Shield. Scarlet and Violet, that makes it easier. Yeah, I've also done Masuda method hunts and shiny charm hunts and chain hunts, but those I've never streamed. I mean, if people would like to see that, I can do that actually. I can do shiny hunts the old-fashioned way. But I wanted to do RNG manipulation first because there's not a lot of people doing that, at least with live streams, and there's already tons of Pokemon YouTubers that do shiny hunts the old-fashioned way, and I thought spice things up, at least be a bit original and do RNG manipulation so that maybe others can discover a completely new way of playing their old cartridges that they may find in the attic or something like that. There's tons of different designs for the aircraft carriers. There's even a nuclear-powered flying one. Well, there were nuclearly powered submarines as well, so I'm not that surprised. Right, 5 seconds, let's see. Wouldn't be against it, but it's up to you. Plus RNG manipulation is cool, as you said. Yeah, I mean, it's more interesting, definitely. But that is a normal Oddish. I already have a beautiful shiny Oddish, so no thanks. And it's not gonna be over with this stream. Safari Saturday will also there's also going to be a Safari Sunday, which will be tomorrow. Which depends on I mean, it will happen, I just don't know yet. Oh, okay. I don't know if maybe we'll go to area 2 here, or that just depends on whether or not I will be able to get all the shinies that I want in this area in this stream. If not, I'll do area 1 another part tomorrow, and I'll work myself slowly through all the areas. And there's some really interesting shinies to see. There's a type of cruise missiles that can be dropped in groups like 9 or something from cargo planes. The thing that's needed to move large quantities of machinery and supplies can now launch missiles. Talk about overkill. It's so easy to get shinies in Scarlet and Violet that I did a shiny only run of the game. Wait, really? I mean, I do have Violet, right? I bought it secondhand, but because I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't ready to buy that game full price because it doesn't merit me having to pay 60 euros for that. It's just way too expensive for a game of that production quality. So I haven't played it yet, but so I can't really speak about that, how easy it is to get shinies in that game. I just know that I have friends who mistakenly missed shinies because apparently the sparkle sound, there's no sparkle sound, you just have to hope that you somehow pick up on a sparkle animation, and if, at least that's what I've been told, and I haven't really looked that up, so I could be wrong, but yeah, not a fan of that mechanic. Yeah, you're right, Classic. I should stream my first time playing it. Haven't really touched it yet. I also have a Shining Pearl, and I haven't touched that one either. Accidentally found a shiny Ghastly while hatching eggs. Wow, congratulations. Shiny Ghastly is really nice. That was my first nephew, my Shiny's first nephew. Yeah, exactly, Brain. That makes 100%. That makes just perfect sense. So I did a brain fart just now. What I wanted to say is my nephew's first shiny was a accidental shiny Litwick that he bred. He didn't even want a shiny, he just wanted a Litwick with certain moves. And he happened to get a shiny. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, there's no sparkle sound. I spent around 8 hours looking for shiny Mimikyu. Oh, that sucks. Oh, jeez. So I have to be extra careful then. Haven't even played the Sword and Shield DLC story yet, honestly. I just got so fed up with the new games and I've just have more fun playing the old games at the moment. Only hunt I did was for Noivern because I like the color scheme. Yeah, that is a very nice shiny. And then very shortly after I found a shiny Shinx. Oh, that's really nice. In what game was that? There we go, hover over Sweet Scent, or Lockduft as it's known in German. You can get odds down to 1 in 1,300 without charm or other methods in Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, isn't there a sandwich method? Where you basically make sandwiches and that heightens the odds of getting a shiny. Oh, that was Violet. Okay, I see. That does sound crazy. I mean, if I would do it in... If my Emerald cartridge, if I would replace the battery and I would hunt it the old-fashioned way, then the odds would be very low. 1 in 8,192 to be exact. And, I mean... You can already see that's way higher than... and way rarer than 1 in 1,300. The sandwich method scammed me, so I don't like it anymore. How did it scam you? Was it just too broken, or was it too much of a waste of raw materials so that it didn't really make much of a difference? Using outbreaks, you can get to 1 in 1,300 with sandwiches is 1 in 600. Ooh, that's actually very good. With charm and sandwiches is 1 in 500. That is super low. You can only get lower odds if you breed a shiny in the Generation 2 games because of the way shinies are generated and calculated in these games, because they use IVs to determine if a Pokemon is shiny. And I mean, if you have 2 shiny parents, they're gonna inherit either parents' genes, so that means they will inherit either parents' IVs. So the odds become 1 in 64, which is really freaking low. So you can just do an outbreak sandwiches and shiny charm for almost guaranteed shinies in around 30 minutes. I have to try that. But yeah, I like your idea, Classic. I think I'll do that. Whenever I will start with Violet, I think I'll have to stream it. This item is called Herba Mystica, and I worked my butt off researching which combination of ingredients and which Herba Mystica I needed. And I did that all, but it gave me the wrong stat boost after. Oh, that's... Oh no, 5 hours grind for nothing. Yeah, I can see how that made you quit or just angry. I would have been fed up as well. 5 hours, that's a long time to invest in a game like that. Let's see, was this the correct input? What do we have? A giraffe, but not the shiny one. I like the story and the gameplay of Scarlet and Violet, but it's very glitchy. I've seen the glitches, and I thought Generation 1 is glitchy. I mean, it is, right? But games made by a billion-dollar company shouldn't be at that state. That's why I wasn't ready to pay 60 euros for it. I paid about half. Was ready to pay that, so it was second hand. In flea market, basically, I bought these two games. So I stopped playing Violet after that and started playing ROM hacks. Completely understandable. When I say grind, I mean maximum efficiency rate farming and hunting, yeah. Oh man. You can save before you make the sandwich, so if it gives you the wrong effects you can reset so you don't lose your Herba Mystica. Okay, that is good to know before I may delve into that. Because I'm interested, there's the Chi-Yu is one of my favorite Pokemon ever, even though I haven't really used it, but it's a legendary goldfish, and I mean, I love goldfish. And it's even really freaking good to use, and I really want one. I would love to have a shiny one, but not sure if they are shiny locked or not. I hope not. Story was really good in my opinion. I haven't played the DLC yet. I did save it, just can't be bothered looking for the stuff I need, and that's understandable. No, Chi-Yu, not Chin Pao. Chi-Yu, the fire goldfish spirit. With the two Magatama eyes. Very clever, although a bit weird that we have Chinese legendaries in Spain. But oh well. Can get them legitimately. Okay, you were just saying Chain Pao as a fact. That's a snowcat. Also, one problem that you will need to finish the main story before you can get Herba Mystica to do the sandwich method. Oh, I see. Hey there, Amit. Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? Enjoying the weekend so far? I see, sorry. Wasn't really sure if you maybe sometimes my accent can get very thick, so maybe maybe you just didn't understand me. Sorry I've been late. Hey, my streams aren't appointments, so you come and go whenever you want. Even if it's for a short time, I'm always happy. All legendaries are shiny locked in Scarlet and Violet. Aw, why do they do that? It just sucks. I want a shiny Chi-Yu. I want a shiny goldfish. So I have to hope for Game Freak to release them as a some kind of special event. Okay, what will this do? Let's see. And that's not a shiny, no. Actually, it's pretty hard to tell with this one, but no stars means no shiny. Yeah, the blue goldfish. That's such a shame that they shiny lock. See, that's also what I like more about the old games. There's no shiny locks. Except for Black and White, that's when they started doing that, and I don't understand why. I'm really not a fan of that. Promo code Shiny Chi-Yu. I can't test that now, but I don't think there's a promo code now. They did that before, but be Yeah, Chio is really cool. Hey there, Krito Skywaker. Welcome back to the stream. Been quite time. Yeah. Howdy. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well, actually. Was a good day today. And until now, I've gotten one shiny oddish. So hopefully I'll get a Gloom, and a Natu would be nice as well. How funny how I hate jerk people in real life, but in movies and shows I love them. Like Paul, Pokémon, or Han Solo from Star Wars. Yeah, I mean, fictional characters can be a-holes, but they can be written in a very interesting way, or they just fit the plot because the plot needs a character like that. But yeah, in real life they're not nice to have around, definitely. Praying for one for a shiny. You have to pray to RNGesus. Think they shiny lock for story, which makes sense but still sucks. But couldn't they just justify it by saying you are in that specific universe, and I mean my username, if the omniverse is infinite, then you just happen to be that kid who happened to come across a shiny legendary. I mean, they already have different timelines and all that, so wouldn't even need to hand wave it. That would be okay. Sadly, there isn't one. Imagine if Rayquaza, Kyogre, and Groudon all had white shinies. Would also look really nice, but I mean the megas are all black. Well, Mega, Alpha, and Omega form, I guess. To make it so we can back and hunt the second one or something. Yeah, or maybe make it so that some legendaries, if they love you enough, they produce an egg. Because, I mean, they are able to do that. Like in the anime, Lugia seems to be able to reproduce asexually. They will probably just lay an egg of their own species, and they don't need a second one. Or in the case of Lunala and Solgaleo, they are doing it the classic way. The bees and the birds and all that. Because they're apparently one is male and one is female. So that would also not be such a... That wouldn't be jumping the shark. I mean, the universe itself already has these rules, so I don't see why they can just justify it. It's weird because in Ultra Sun and Moon you can get shiny legendaries for some reason. Yeah, I've actually captured some, namely shiny Latias and shiny Cresselia. Yeah, self-reproduction also exists in nature. Some lizards are able to give birth to essentially clones of themselves, but only female ones are capable of doing this. Hands are hurting. I'm treating them with hand cream. Oh boy, have you been working hard? Hopefully that pain will reside. I know how that feels. Always pretty bummed out when the hands hurt because, I mean, I'm a human being and I have to use my hands every single day for a lot of things, so... Not the cat and the lions. The classic way is the best way. Yeah, I think a lot of people would agree with that. There's one line in a movie that is so good where the villain says, I have loyalty, the three people, me, myself and I. Yeah, what? Who said that again? Not really well versed with the movie lore because I'm not that big of a fan of the Pokemon anime, to be fair, and to be honest. But I do remember some villain saying that, or something akin to that. But I can't think of that right now. Really like the villain that appeared in the Celebi movie. I mean, I don't like him in that way. He's a jerk. He's a douchebag, right? He's a disgusting person. But he's a very interesting fictional character and a very strong villain. Bat and the Lions. Just say where at work it has oil that irritates the skin long term. Oh, I see. Especially for that blue protective gloves we use. The gloves get soaked in long term and you get the results. Yeah, I see. I've also had to wear gloves for a couple of hours at a time, and you kind of, your skin on the hands feels really weird afterwards. But then again, I didn't have to work with oils like that. And now it's weekend, hopefully. So you can rest tomorrow on a Sunday. At least I hope for your hand's sake. Less than a minute remaining. Hopefully I get the glue. I mean, it's pretty good that Quirky gives me slightly some shinies a bit earlier. I even get one adamant one. At least that's with Oddish, but if I just hit generate and I don't care what Pokemon it is. See, there's a 3 adamant ones that I get, even though I have a Quirky synchronizer. And everything after 15,227, when it reaches the 40,000, that is just too much of a wait that we don't go there. That would be very boring. Ah! Oh, again? Okay. Oh well, let's try it without a Pokeblock. Okay, still there. Let's throw a ball. Level 25. So I hit this frame actually. Or this one. Good question. I can't determine that, unfortunately. Bought another shiny Oddish for 500 Poké-Dollars. Thing is, I can't really calibrate because I'm not sure if I hit 13,753 or 13,743. Although I would assume it's the former. Okay, so that is the... Okay, so those are essentially clones, these two shinies. I hit the exact same frame twice. Interesting. So let's start with that calibration, see where that goes. Best quote ever is, "I love the type of woman who can kick my butt." Yeah, I don't know where it is from, but my husband sometimes quoted that as well. It's true. Yeah. There's a lot of men out there who really like that, and women as well. Okay, so 2 shiny Oddishes until now. Sure, I hope I'd rather have the evolution Gloom, but still. Dominant women are amazing. I like that. I mean, yeah. There are a lot of more dominant women out there than you'd think. It's from Cowboy Bebop. Oh, it is! Yes! Yes, it is. Now I remember. Hail to the chief here, folks. It's one of Spike Spiegel's quotes. Yeah, now I remember, he does say that. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, that was a meme, but I saw it on a screenshot of a Twitter, or X as it's called. I hate that name. A tweet where someone says, "Oh my god, how ugly," and it was a picture of a woman who had abs so freaking hard that you could cut vegetables on it. And he said that was ugly, and then like just tons of people answered with exactly that quote, and that was really funny. Wonder where Arch is? Good question. I know where James is. I know he has family over still, so I think he'll be able to join us more frequently after this weekend is over. I mean, so tomorrow there's gonna be Sapphire Sunday. Sapphire Sunday, no, what the... My brain today, again, I don't know what's wrong with me these last couple of days. But what my brain was trying to say, but my mouth interrupted it with a word that I didn't mean to say, is tomorrow there's going to be Safari Sunday, not Sapphire Sunday. And then on Wednesday it's gonna be Wild Wednesday. I think he's gonna be there he's gonna be back when that stream happens. That is what I was trying to say this whole time. Jeez. Was meant to ask what you guys think of Rooster Teeth shutting down. I mean, aren't they also shutting down because of some weird allegations? I never had an attachment to Rooster Teeth. I knew they existed back then, but I wasn't a fan, I guess. So I'm somewhat indifferent. And I do know they've been bought up, haven't they? I think there's some media conglomerate that bought them. Women with abs and they think it's ugly. Yeah, I know, right? That's why dominant women deserve me. I'll appreciate them better. Oh, jeez. Again? Okay. Oh, okay. Never mind. Bye-bye. And it fled. Well, I already have two, so... To agree that the 8 Champions tournaments was full of plot armor, it wasn't as good as it should be. Is that out in Pokemon Journeys? Oh, I still haven't watched that one. Still need to completely watch that. Let's go, Shiny Oddish. Nah, it just said bye bye. I don't need yet another level 25 Shiny Oddish. I already have 2 now. We're not here for you, we're here for shinies. But yeah, as you can all see, this can happen in this format. In the Safar-Zone, they can just flee. And it's a bit of a gamble. That's the gist of the Safar-Zone. You can't be absolutely sure if you're gonna get the shiny, which is also a reason why I never do full art shiny hunting in the Safar-Zone, because that would make me so mad if they would run. And with RNG manipulation, I mean, it's not... Theoretically, I have infinite tries to get every single shiny. I just need to hit the... exact frame. Weird allegations, never heard of that about Rooster Teeth, okay. But I do learn about they blaming the haters for the shutting down. Can they have a backbone and admit their fault for once? I mean, aren't they basically shutting down because a large media conglomerate has bought them up and then they close it down for tax cut reasons. That usually is a thing that companies do. It's unfortunate, right? But they do that for tax reasons. So I think it's just that. It just happens a lot. Buy out your failing competition and use them as tax exemptions. A classic in the playbook of capitalists, I guess. This happened with Warner Brothers as well. We're here for Shiny Oddish. But Shiny Oddish isn't here for us, so what do we do now? Thing is, if I Natu that I get has synchronized, and I can use that as a synchronize as well. Okay, yeah, so I don't get a quirky Natu. That's very interesting. Giraffaric I can get. Doduo, let's see. I mean, okay. I don't, but I already have a shiny adamant Doduo, so that's okay. Gloom I can get as a quirky one. Wobbuffet as well. And Pikachu. Okay. But for now, let's do Gloom. Or I get anything else, that's okay as well. I don't know what Ruby Volume 9 had a rocky progress to make, plus, well, that's a normal... Why not? No, not a why not, a Wobbuffet. Okay, that did not register, I'll do that again. Didn't even flee. Plus, Rooster Teeth also made the 2 Ruby X Justice League crossover during that time. I mean, are you familiar, Kratos Skywalker, are you familiar with the H-Bomber review of Ruby? Because as someone who also wants to write stories in the future, I can say that that review confidently, and it's well produced, and it really tells you what the writing mistakes are, because you kind of see that they didn't understand what made the anime that they were referencing good in the first place. They just copied things without thinking, why did the author use that? What was the point? Is it maybe a important connection in a story or a character moment? They just copied that without truly understanding why it works, and that really shows. Ever since I started using Classic as my username, I hear it everywhere, and I'm like, oh, me? Yeah, I can imagine. It sucked, because the writer got many champions, dirty, like Alan get beat up by Leon. I don't know who Alan is, but okay. Like, he isn't even a champion. He made Steven Stone's face ash. I don't think I told you what happened. No. But then again, I haven't watched it yet, so maybe I don't want to get spoiled. Yeah, I want to write stories in the future, Omni. Now I'm just read your chat without thinking that. Yeah, I mean, it's directed towards me. But yeah, I do want to write stories in the future. Actually, I am writing on a sci-fi setting, a sci-fi universe since 2009-ish. And I'm looking to publish that as a manga first, a comic. And I can do the writing. And my husband is he has a bachelor in arts. He is an animator, so he can also do comics and and that. So hopefully that will work out. Yeah, I think I saw that once. Might have to revisit the video sometimes. If I may suggest, Leon Critiques made a pretty good rant trilogy on Ruby Volume 9. Oh, okay, I'll check that out. Thank you for the suggestion. What your name, by the way, I don't know. My civilian name is Yana, so Y-A-N-N-A. Oh hey, I also want to be an author of sci-fi or fantasy. That's nice. What I like the most is hard sci-fi, so the works of the culture novels by Ian Banks and such. Really like those. Time to be a full-time reader. Yeah, hopefully it will go somewhere. I definitely poured my heart and soul into that. Thinking about the universe and the world building. Don't want to say too much. Oh. Yeah, that is a shiny Pikachu. I was about to say, wait, you know that, right? Yes, that is a shiny Pikachu. Let's feed it, right? Pretty cute. Not a red one. Let's try another. Either purple or indigo. Doesn't really matter. Quirky ones like them all. Hey there, Arch. Welcome back to the stream. You just witnessed the shiny Pikachu. Okay. So it stayed. Let's throw a ball and see how that goes. But yeah, one thing I don't want to... Oh, okay. Okay, you're still here. I don't want to spoil it too much. Because I still want to keep it somewhat of a secret, I guess, but I'll just say this much: the username that I have here is based on the title that I'm gonna use for that sci-fi franchise. So yes, got the shiny Pikachu. Nice. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's quirky, kauzig in German. Level 25 and male. So I'm gonna save and put it in the PC. And because Arch, you just joined, I'll show you what I got until now. So I got this shiny Pikachu and these two shiny Oddish. And these are identical in every way. I just managed to hit the same frame 2 times. That sometimes happens with RNG manipulation. Okay, so I did get a Pikachu shiny. So I am capable of hitting 1 single frame, but this frame I'm not. Oh boy, sometimes that just is so weird sometimes. It's funny though. Okay, let's do this again. Might gotta go, but I might be back later. Alright, see you soon then, Dragon Destroyer 204. How do you plan on publishing it? I want to publish it by myself, publishing it independently. There are methods of doing that in Luxembourg, and we might even be able to use a Luxembourgish art fund to get help, at least financial help. And I plan on publishing it as a ebook as well. And I mean, I will translate it into as many languages as I can, so all the languages that I am able to speak or write. So I think the draft or the main, like the first draft or the concept that I all written down are English for now. But I'll translate that into Luxembourgish as well, because all the Luxembourgish comics that exist are pretty much boomer humor, and that's it. That's kind of a shame, and it's always the same thing. We need some new stuff, don't you think? something creative, something different. And I might also say that it's solar punk, and I think I'll leave it at that. The dream yesterday that felt deep. I was alone and I saw a little girl 5 to 7 years old. I got her to her home and I played with it. Made felt so good in the dream. Oh, so you safely got a little girl home in your dream? That's sweet. I had a couple of dreams all focusing on me smoking. Since I've started streaming, I actually dream sometimes that I'm streaming. And that is so weird. And I sometimes in these dreams, I stream games that don't exist. Which is a shame, because sometimes my brain comes up with really freaking cool games, but fortunately they're not. Had like 3 of very similar dreams so far. It might be a future prediction. I've also had dreams where basically I had 6 consecutive dreams. So in 1 week I had 6 dreams that were a continuation of each other. And I've talked to people about this before, and apparently that isn't really that normal. I mean, judging from the reactions that I got, and they said, "Are you sure you're not lying?" But no, I actually had dreams like that. Or even I've had some dreams that I had exactly, even identically, 2 or 3 times. That was weird. Then you have a déjà vu in your dream. That's just so bizarre. Depends on how lucid I am. Sometimes then it turns into a lucid dream because I notice my brain when it dreams, or when it renders dreams, let's say. There's some very specific elements where I can see or deduce that it's a dream. For example, if I can reach through windows and I know, okay, it's a lucid dream. I know I'm dreaming. I can just jump out the window and fly. That's pretty fun. Yeah, I thought, yeah, cigarettes, yeah. I was about to ask what else would you be smoking, but of course, there's lots of drugs you can smoke, so that would have been stupid. Okay, so that's not a shiny. It's without calibration this time. I'm just smoking, nothing else. I mean, I am not a coffee junkie, but I drink a cup of coffee every morning. So if you want to call that an addiction, yeah, sure. I would call it a dependence in my part. Because I don't have cravings when I don't have coffee. Like reading, so pretty much only stream I watch. Publishing a book is like 1 + 1. Make a game on the book you're writing. Oh, classic. Actually, and I think, yeah, I'll tell you guys. It started out as a game idea. That thing that I'm writing on since 2009. But I do realize that making a game of that scope would just be impossible without the proper funding, so... But to be fair, I've written the canon in such a way that it would work as a game, as a novel, as a show, as a movie. It would work. It's very flexible in that regard. Predicted accurately the 25% of the bad stuff that happened to me. Oh, that's unfortunate. Never smoked weed or anything like that. I mean, given the age that you are, that would be very dangerous because your brain is still developing, and I wouldn't touch that until you were at least 24 or something like that. Of course, I'm not your mom, you do you, but obviously I hope that minors don't touch these things. And I'll say that because there's a good reason the doctors say that. Well, to be fair, Classic, and to be honest, I'd also be very happy if you wouldn't need to use nicotine, because that isn't that good as well. But I won't fly over to the UK and take your cigarettes away, because no, not gonna do that. Well, I'm heading out now. It's getting late for me, so nighty night. Yeah, good night, Kryto Skywaker, and sleep well and have nice dreams. Maybe some lucid dreams, who knows. Had a dream of myself in a dark and empty hospital with a monster with a purple cat eyes color. So color is purple. When I wake up, I start developing a game about these games. That sounds like you would make a horror game based on a nightmare. That is interesting. I write a whole show made out of 4 seasons. Each has 15 episodes, comic, not animation, even though I could. It's hard, and you wrote 2 movies. I didn't... I mean, what I wrote is still very conceptual. I mean, the canon is basically set. It just need to get a through line so that it makes sense. That's what I have to do now. And hopefully I can get that published within the next decade. Should it be punished, I'll immediately tell you on this channel. But yeah, like I said before, hopefully I can publish that before I turn 40. It's a lot of work though. Writing isn't so easy. You have... Especially if you have to be or want to be consistent. I'm burning oil and breathing into my lungs, and body can flush it out naturally. Yeah, I mean, that's a choice. Sometimes I don't make the healthiest choices either. There have been days where I could have not eaten that much chocolate maybe, or sweets. To be fair, it never got overhand, it never went overboard. I don't have binges, but I could have chosen a apple as a breakfast instead of chocolate sometimes in my life, or a lot of times in my life. Just all about the the dose. To be fair, with smoking, there's no really a good healthy dose, but you wrote two movies. Now I'm interested. Now I'm intrigued. I wouldn't start drinking. Alcohol is... I'm like Ahmed there. I don't drink or smoke. And people sometimes give me SHIT for not drinking alcohol, because in Luxembourg almost everyone is an alcoholic. It's pretty terrible, that alcohol culture. And alcohol destroys your cells, like almost every cell in the human body. You'll drastically shorten your lifespan. You'll age much quicker. You can destroy your fertility. You can destroy a lot of things with alcohol, and drowning out your sorrows and your grief doesn't work. I've tried, so I'm speaking of experience, but not with... I haven't used drugs to do that. It was a time where I was really reclusive, and I just played video games and was maybe some on the internet sometimes, and that's it. And I tried to drown out my grief with that, but drowning it out like that doesn't work. You're just digging a hole. It's gonna dig deeper and deeper. You don't want to be in that hole. The only positive to smoking is that sometimes can make your voice deeper. Yeah, to be fair, yeah, if you consider that to be better, sure. Whiskey and other alcoholic beverages can do that as well. Sometimes you have people that have a whiskey voice. The first is called Old Mansion 53. So you'll publish it, or you have plans of publishing that? I'm swimming a source, yeah, I know, but I mean, guys don't know the extent of that, but my childhood was pretty traumatic. Some things happened that shouldn't have happened. I'm okay now, but I can really speak of experience that drowning out your sorrows, it will not work. It just makes them worse. Trust me. I've been there, I've done that, and it doesn't work. Especially alcohol, that makes you even more depressive than you should be. Like, alcohol is one of the worst drugs you can choose to take. I'm not even kidding when I say that. It can destroy and wreck lives. Only my somewhat deep voice is the only chance I have with older women. I see. But, I mean, you're a minor, right? So, older women, I don't know what that means to you, but at some point it will not be super legal if they would get with you. Or maybe you already know you have that preference, and once you're not a minor anymore, you go looking for them, I assume. Which, hey, you do you. No, it's actually not good. That was based on a study that has since been redacted. In a couple of months, maybe a year difference. Okay, I mean, if you just drink once a week, that's okay, right? It's the dose that makes the poison, but it also depends on so many other factors. Like, I mean, you're a man, so that's already an advantage. And you're tall, right? At least, was it you who's tall, or was it Arch? Keep mixing that up for some reason. If you're tall and you weigh more, then that's also advantages that increases your tolerance. The Romeo and Juliet law. Excuse me, Romeo and Juliet law. Don't think I've heard of that. What is that? Is that a thing unique to the UK? Wouldn't be surprised. The UK has has a lot of unique things, let's say. Alright, just a tall one. I'm short. I'm neither short nor am I tall. 5'5". You're as tall as me. I'm about 5'4", 5'5". But I'm European, so I would say 164.5 centimeters. So sometimes that calculator spits out for 5'4" and sometimes 5'5". A ton of countries have that law. Yeah, I'm thinking about. I think now that you're mentioning, I think I've read it somewhere, but not sure what it is. Wow, everyone's so freaking tall here, except us classic, you and me. I mean, I'm 5 centimeters above the worldwide average when it comes to women. So I'm not small. And I'm actually, I mean, there was a time where I wished maybe it would be nice if I had 10 centimeters more. But honestly, being medium, neither tall nor short, it makes it really easy finding clothes because a lot of women are around my height. So I usually always find clothes that fit with my torso size or length. Yes, I do the movie idea about a old haunted mansion that had number 52. It's known to have 52 disappearances, and the hero is a detective that has a sad background. Oh, film noir even. So mystery, horror, film noir, okay. And sad background, losing his wife, and he is 53 disappear. I assume you want to say he disappears as well in that mansion. My husband is also 6 foot something, also pretty tall. Not that I really want that. It's not like if he would be smaller than I would be, I wouldn't mind, honestly. I'm not like that. But he just happens to be a tall guy. Ah, I see. Okay, so you have no idea what it says, but you know that people can date who are 18, 19 can date people who are 16, 17. I mean, just be vigilant. There might be some older women who will use you because you are younger, and then they hope that you don't have the experience needed to know whether or not you're being manipulated or groomed. So that's why I'm mentioning that. So be sure to keep that in mind. I don't think if I would be single now, I don't think I would date under 25, to be honest. I guess it would depend, but I'm already seeing how a 18-year-old grew up in a different time than I did. And of course I can have a lot of things that he would also like, but I don't know, maturity is also something that I would want. The tall guy was very skinny and has fine hair and big feet and a black hair and long limbs and brown eyes. So everything... Yeah, usually tall guys also have really large feet. That just tends to always come in that. Care less if I was cuffed to a bed. 26 as long as I was loved. Yeah, but do be aware of people using the love bombing technique. So that would mean that they would initially at the start of the relationship shower you with love, and then they wait until you get hooked and then they turn nasty. So just a heads up. Didn't happen to me, but I've read a lot about it. I know people who were in that situation, and I'm always saying that to people who are, let's say, new to the dating pool, just in case. So, I mean, I would have been really happy if back then someone would have told me that. Luckily, I didn't fall in a situation like that, but I think it's good to know. And Ahmed, I mean, I also look very stereotypically European in the way that you look stereotypically Iraqi. So yeah, I'm a medium tall woman with very fair white skin, very long blonde hair, so reaches my hips, and I have blue eyes. And for some reason people always picture me with dark hair, and then they are surprised that I'm a blonde. I don't know why. Okay, no, don't want that. Pretty sure I'll just wait till I move before looking for a partner. Maybe Australia. Oh yeah, Australia would be in that way good because you wouldn't have to learn a new language. And the weather is pretty nice. Oh, my hair reaches my hips, yeah. Actually, it's close to the butt right now, but I'm really lucky, yeah, it can be heavy. But as a child, that's nothing what I have right now. As a child, my hair reached my knees. I'm not kidding. when that got wet, that was really heavy, that I have to admit. But no, I'm pretty lucky. My hair is, I mean, I have very fine hair, but I have a lot of hair on my head. My mom has the same, couldn't live with long hair. I'm so used to having long hair, because I had that for basically the entirety of my life, so. But yeah, I do need to put it together in a pony from time to time when I do stuff, because if the wind can put my hair somewhere where it doesn't need to be. How do women carry children and all this hair? I'd give up. I mean, you don't mess with people who bleed once a month and they don't die, so I think it's that. Yes, I have white skin and prefer more elegant, charming clothes. Oh, so you like my husband then? He's not a fan of the usual men's clothes that only give you 3 or 4 color options. Grey, dark blue, green, black, grey. Grey I already said, you genius of. And he also likes more colorful. Some would say tacky, but I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't call that tacky. My skin is really white. I cannot become brown. I either get a sunburn or it could become slightly more beige, and that's it. Bleed 15 times a month. So, I mean, to be fair, aren't you working on a farm? Because I've seen farmers' hands and they bleed every single day, every single minute almost. Okay, so 1 minute remaining. What I'm really looking forward to the Safari Sunday, Safari Saturday streams is getting a shiny Heracross, because that one is pink, and I mean, you guys know me, right? With trees, yeah, I imagine. I've also seen woodchoppers' hands, and they also were bleeding every single day. Yeah, exactly. Don't you have lotion for the hands? Maybe you look into that, because it's good for for the moisturization of your skin. Especially if you work a lot with your hands. And it's not just girls who can use that. I actually like it when men also look after themselves. And a lot of women do that as well. Remember, fellas, having good hygiene does not mean you're gay. No, I don't want that. I'm white, but I get, from time to time, my face get red like the Emperor from Star Wars. There's this tree with thorns. Yikes. Thorns? Like a rose or a bush? Is it on the trunk? Because I only know of a few trees that have thorns. And one of them is like some kind of very rare tree that only grows on Hawaii or islands like that. Don't know for certain, but the sap in these thorns surely must irritate the skin way more. It has yellow wood inside, okay. I mean, I hope you're not allergic to them, but I think the reaction would be a bit stronger if you would be allergic. I'll try search it. Alright. I'm not exactly a botanist, but I do know of some trees that I've been chatting for a long time with a guy from Hawaii who breeds goldfish, and He has sent me pictures of the flora there, and they have some very interesting trees. And also animals, birds, and other things you never see anywhere else. Fortunately, some animals which now don't exist anymore. Because they died out. That always breaks my heart. Can find a species of tree, but it's more like a bush. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to find it, right? I can imagine how it looks like. Fun fact, I only broke my leg one time when I was 7. I tried to fly, so I jumped from a very high ground. Oh, good thing that you only broke your leg. Oh. Phew. Can't imagine how your mom must have felt. Oof. I'm really glad that you only hurt your leg, Ahmed, and not that it didn't turn out to hurt you more. Only ever broken a bone once was from trying to punch someone. Wow, then that must have been a very high force. You did punch them. Well, did they at least deserve it? I mean, I don't condone violence exactly, but some people have it coming. Oh, I see, yeah. I've never broken anything in my life, but that's because I was a very careful kid. I wasn't too keen on climbing up trees or walls or anything like that because my motor skills were just not good enough for that, and I knew this. My balance wasn't the best as well when I was a child. It's better now, but I just was way too scared of falling, and so I didn't do these things. Yeah, if you hit you first, well, yeah. I assume that you have had a good reason to punch. My dad saw me at ground, can't move, funny, I didn't feel any pain. Maybe because the adrenaline, sometimes your body gets from a shock of something happening. Your body just gets pumped chock full of adrenaline, and that can suppress pain. That can also happen to mothers when they give birth, that they sometimes get so riled up that they don't really feel the pain. They just feel the pressure, and afterwards, when they calm down, they start feeling the after pain, so to speak. What the hell are you doing here? And I was like, try to fly, and now I can't move. Oof. I would get a heart attack when if that was my son who was lying there and I can't move. I tried to fly and I fell off a high height. I would immediately rush you to the hospital and pray that nothing serious happened. Once had an electric scooter and I was weaving through the low points of a curb where cars drive into their drive, and I slipped and almost broke my eye socket. Ooh. Oh, that sounds... If that happened, that would have been so freaking painful. Could have even gotten blind on one eye. Ugh. Kind of scary to think about. Luckily, nothing serious happened then. How is it like when you have a limb that's broken? I mean, I don't know what it is like. I've just heard it from others. Some people have told me that it's one of the worst pains they've gone through. Except women, if they had children, or if they had, or people in general, gender non-specific now. So any gender, people who had kidney stones. That is usually at the top of the chart when I ask people what was the worst pain that you've experienced in your life. But people who haven't experienced childbirth or kidney stones said that breaking their legs would hurt like hell. huge lump for days, still have a smallish lump and a scar there. Well, at least nothing too serious happened, so... And there's women out there who really love scars on men, especially around the eye area. Laughed all the way home about it. Well, at least you took it with humor, that's good. Doesn't hurt, just feels weird. Apparently sprains hurt more. I've sprained a toe before. It did hurt, yeah, but wasn't the worst pain I've experienced. I mean, I've had menstrual cramps that were worse than that. Again, being a woman can be really freaking hard sometimes. But it was a small sprain, it was just a toe. The large toe on my left foot. It's when I played tennis and my landing wasn't really that. The execution of that was not so good. Let's leave it at that, I guess. That's not a shiny, no, because the actual the shiny of that one is a bit like brighter green. You have scars all over your body. You've been into a lot of things then. I mean, granted, I didn't really see a lot of detail when you posted your face reveal in the Discord, but I couldn't make out a scar. Okay, that. No, I have so many shinies of you, and you are not shiny anyway, so bye-bye. I've done a similar injury to both eyes. Oof. Be careful though. But yeah, some... Now I forgot the point that I was saying because I was focusing on something else. Both my knees are scarred. I have a scar on my forearm, on my forehead, my eye, my burn scar on my thumb. Surprisingly, none of my chest or lower body. I mean, I tell you, there's some women out there who really, really love scars on men. I think it's also more socially accepted men having scars than women having scars. At least that's my experience. Okay. My scars look weird. I mean, hopefully you're not too self-conscious about them. Because you shouldn't be. I don't see scars as something ugly. But that's just the way I see people. Women having scars is good too. In my eyes, any woman is good as long as I find them attractive. I mean, there's also lots of very good people out there who aren't attractive. Well, I'm sure you know that already. And as I said before, beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. I also had a scar on my leg when I was 8. We had a furnace. There was a lever in the furnace. Tried to pull it for fun. Eventually it fell over me, the left foot. Ooh. Over your left foot was burned and left a scar and a memory. Ooh, that must have hurt. Burning, that really hurts. I've also had fire on me and that was horrible pain. Only thing I'm self-conscious about is something I'm not disclosing. Yeah, that's fair. Again, you guys don't need to tell every single thing here. And if you just don't feel like sharing something, then don't. Right, 10 seconds. Let's see. Burnt my thumb on a motorcycle exhaust as a child. That's so metal. I can imagine these can get really freaking hot in the summer. It's not a shiny. I always have to double check with this bird. Thinking, should I start tomorrow's stream a bit earlier? Just saw that, I mean, it's already 23:30. What do you guys think? Can also keep the usual schedule. Don't have anything on Monday, so I'm still looking for a job, so to me it wouldn't be a problem staying up late on Sunday. Unrelated, lit a strand of hair on fire and with a lighter it smells really bad. Yeah. I knew a guy who had very long hair and he really liked demonstrating that fact for some reason, but charred human parts just smell really weird and usually really bad. Oh gosh, that's so dark. Oh, the conversations in my chat sometimes at least doesn't get boring here, I'd assume. Pretty cool that for now. Good that I have the quirky synchronize as well. I can already maybe check if any other natures give me any early shinies. Okay, Hardy even gives me adamant ones. That's very interesting. Lonely as well. Brave as well. I mean adamant I already know. Naughty as well. Okay. How about bold? How about docile? Okay. Relaxed. Doesn't really... Yeah, okay. Impish. Lax. Nothing special. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Timid. Doesn't help. Hasty also doesn't help. Serious also doesn't help. If they don't give me bigger yields than adamant does, then I don't see the point. Or at least if they don't give earlier frames. Quiet, okay, that gives me some late frames, so I don't care about late frames. Rush, that's the same. Calm is also the same. Gentle gives me late frames, I don't care about these. Sassy, late frames, don't care about these. Careful, not really a lot. And quirky, nah, okay. So yeah, quirky gives me early frames, that's good to know. At least frames that are earlier than the usual 15,000 frames when I use adamant or when I look for adamant ones. This one. I once fell and hurt my chin so much that I had a long cut in that looked like a long line of lips on my chin. Ooh. Oh geez, that sounds very painful. Lips of blood I had to sew on my chin. Oof. Jeez, that sounds really, really painful. You guys don't have to test gravity out, it definitely works. You can take my word for it. So 3 shinies until now. That would be 1,500 Poké Dollars. Well, I'm okay paying for every single shiny here. You've been through worse than me. I mean, I don't want to do Pain Olympics, right? And I don't know what you've been through exactly. You don't need to disclose that. And I mean, maybe I can say that in more private Discord chats, but I don't want to disclose exactly what happened here on the live stream. It's also pretty depressing, and I mean, it has happened. I can't change the past. What I can do, however, is try to live the best life I can do. And I also have things that other people don't, like a loving family, and I mean, it's pretty good if you know that should you fall through the, just have, even if you have financial failures, your parents or your, the parents of your spouse would help you at the drop of a hat. That's a big privilege, so yeah. Yeah, childhood wasn't really that nice, except for the times where I was with family or at home. Fortunately, I had really bad luck when it came to the school that I went to. I was really at the wrong place at the wrong time. You lost your scar? I mean, sometimes scars can grow out, right? They can disappear. That depends on how good the, what kind of cut it was, what kind of scar it is. And sometimes scars can fade after 7 years because then all of your skin cells have renewed themselves. It's the most line you use with strangers. Say, mind your business, and I will mind my business. I sometimes also say, live and let live, if someone complains about something completely inconsequential, like, oh, look at that person wearing green. How horrible. No, why? Don't care. Let people enjoy things that they enjoy. If they don't hurt anyone, then it's none of my business. Oh, never mind, I found it. Okay. Scar's 8 years old. I mean, I've known a woman who, she had a cesarean, so she didn't deliver the baby the usual way. Well, she couldn't because it was twins. And for some reason her scar faded after 7 years. Usually these scars don't fade, but it did. May RNG bless you. Thank you, human name, and welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Fortunately, it's getting pretty late into the stream now. Well, let's see what I can still get within the, I don't know, 20 minutes, 20-ish minutes. Time again. Just, I can't believe that that it's already 23 o'clock. Just feels wrong, honestly. As long as I don't lose my scars, some women find it hard, I don't care, yeah. Still have 2 scars that I never lost. They are hard to see, I only know about them, so it's okay to me, yeah. I mean, some people have scars where you'd need to be fully naked to see them, right? And usually that doesn't happen. You usually don't see... You're usually not in public when you're completely naked. Oh, you're playing Omori again, like you mentioned. So far, the first edition of Safari Saturday has yielded me 2 shiny Oddish and 1 shiny Pikachu. And they're all quirky. Quirky nature. So yeah, for those of you who have paid on Patreon, I think it would be best if we either use the private message tool on Patreon or maybe on Discord, and we can arrange a trade. And if you are a patron for several months, then for each month you can request a new Pokemon, because I think that's fair. Emotional scars are there too. Oh, well, I mean, those are my scars. I have a lot of psychological scars I need to let heal. I know how that feels. Just saying, if I find a woman with a random thigh scar. Oh, there are a lot, yeah. Sometimes you get stretch marks on your thighs even though you weren't pregnant yet. Because some just, they go from being very thin to boom, puberty. And then, because they grow so quickly, then they can have scars like that. Funny how I always act like I feel sad when I'm alone with my family. Leave the house, I say I'm sad, I will miss you deep in me. I'm like, effing hell, finally I could live happy. I mean, that's not the first time I've heard something like that. Maybe you need some space to yourself. Maybe you yearn for that. I doubt the scars really go away. They would probably reopen if you stop taking vitamin C. Yeah, sometimes in rare cases, and given the right genetics, some scars can fade or go away. But of course, if you can't see the scar anymore, that doesn't mean that there isn't a internal scar, but obviously you don't see that, right? Also, it depends on other factors as well. Some people have a skin that scars pretty quickly, and others seem to not get scars as quickly. There's so many studies being done on that topic. We're not completely sure what causes that, but there are some genetic factors that can somewhat predict if these scars will fade or not. Then you have the fact that some scars are easier to see on you if you're white, and some are easier to see when you're black. Don't scar yourself though. As for the psychological scars, those, I mean, you don't see them, but I'd argue they're worse. Because you carry them around everywhere, and I'd rather have certain physical pains than certain psychological pains, because, I mean, for those of you who know, for those of you who've seen the psychological abyss and were really freaking down, you know how that feels, and I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy, to be fair. Sadly can't contribute to your Patreon Omni since I don't have a card. No, not a problem. I think there's a way doing it with a payback card, but then again, if you don't like to do that, then don't. Live with 9 people, yeah, that's a full house, definitely. And the only one who is an introvert is me. Yeah, I remember we had that conversation Friday. I'm also the only introvert in my direct family, so my parents and both of my siblings are very extroverted social people, and I'm the only introvert. So I know how that feels, but we manage pretty well. So no surprise I hate being around my family. Yeah, but do cherish them, because once they're gone, you can't get them back. So I also try to enjoy every second I can with my mom and my dad before. I mean, that's an unfortunate reality. They are starting to become old, and I can see that. I hope they live a long life like my ancestors have. That's why I've really won the genetic lottery. No cancer. Everyone lived really for a very long time, so long lifespans. Even if, for example, my maternal grandfather, he drank and smoked cigarettes since he was a teenager, and he didn't get cancer. He lived to the ripe old age of 87, and I hope I inherited his genes, because I don't take any drugs, so that would mean that my odds would be even better. Maybe. Hopefully. Imagine how good a serrated edge blade would make a skull look. I don't know if I like to think about things like these. I feel like there's a high concentration of people who have been psychologically at the worst here, including me. I'm sorry to read that human name. I hope you're in a better place right now. I think I'm just a neurodivergent magnet as well, since I am as well neurodivergent, and I just tend to attract these people, but I do want you to know that this is a safe place, or I want this to be a space where you can feel comfortable in and not get judged or feel judged. I know how that is when you have a low and then life hits you with a new low, and yeah. Well, I mean, maybe don't say eternally, because you never know what the future holds. There's quite a few things that if I went back in time and I could speak with 12-year-old me, I would say things where she wouldn't believe me. Good things that happened in my life, so... So maybe, who knows, maybe if you live on your, if you live on your own, maybe life will start to get better, who knows. My parents are the only ones I may love, but they are old anyway. Well, I mean, I love my parents regardless how old they are, right? Plus, Ireland? Okay. Let go of people who love. I had a friend that truly loved me when no one did, and oh, that's horrible. And my condolences. That is very terrible to witness. Live in a past friend's honor. Yeah, that's how we can still honor them. Fortunately, I also had. I mean, I've had family members and friends die as well, either from illness or from accidents. And I still dread having to go to the funerals. I don't hate funerals themselves. Oh, excuse me. But it's just that feeling that you know you're never gonna see that person again, that just breaks me. The Faroe Islands might leave me making a suicide hotline. Oh, so they didn't have one. Do they speak English? I mean, there is one in the UK. You know what? I'm gonna paste that. In case this helps anyone. I'm so emotionally attached from people dying or losing. It's insane. Yeah, that's that can be a trauma reaction where you dissociate and you don't really notice what's happening around you, but that sometimes can bite you in the butt. So Also, sadly, speaking from experience. Drowning out your pain generally doesn't work. You have to confront it sooner or later. And that is what I'm doing right now. I'm confronting that. I'm confronting that. These things that happened to me in the past. I go to therapy. I try to be mindful. I'll try to start new good habits that are healthy. And it's definitely working. And I'm really speaking of experience. Do not run away from your problems. That's not going to solve them. You're just keeping them for later. And sometimes they become more toxic if you leave them be. Then they really... like, they turn bad, like food you forgot in the fridge. Really feels like that. That is not a shiny, okay. There we go. Oh. Oof. I'm glad you're still with us, Ahmed. Fortunately, I never did an attempt, but fortunately, I have to say I was really close a lot of times. Unfortunately. But luckily, I didn't go through, and I know this is really freaking dark for a stream like this, but somehow seeing... if you're really face to face with death, I don't know, my fight or flight response got triggered and it was just a biological urge of, ugh, what the heck are you doing? Don't. And so I didn't. Joke's on me, I live in someone else's image, so I never have to confront my pain. I mean, I don't judge you for doing that. I understand why you would do that, because you just want peace and time away from that pain, and I understand that. I've been in that situation before as well, so I do empathize with that, but I just have to be honest. Don't do the same mistake that I did. Don't push your problems, your trauma away. It just doesn't work. It comes back to haunt you, and maybe it will hit even harder depending on your situation. And if you're confronting it now, with professional help of course, then you'll really see how things go much better. There's a few things tying me here. That's good. That's really good. Mom, online friends, and my brother. That's really good. To me, it was also my family. Just the thought of my family being devastated after I'm gone, that was usually enough to keep me away from committing to the act. Let's keep it at that. But yeah. Jeez. Sometimes the conversations are really dark, but some things really need to be said. And I'm saying these things now because I wish someone told me these things when I was younger. When I was close to ending it all. If someone came, like said what I'm saying now, and showed that that person also was in the same situation and they overcame it, that would have helped me. So I'm saying it here now. Maybe this will help one. Even if it just saves one single person, then that's more than enough. 2 months ago I had a dumb problem with my mom. I blew up. I say everything. All the dark ideas I had for 7 months. Oh yeah, so many bad things. Left the house for 14 hours. My mom was sad. Yeah, I mean, I do understand your mom's side as well. That must have hit pretty bad. But I do understand how a thing like that can happen. Let's see. Oh, that's horrible. Horrible to read. Classic. Oh! Are you kidding? Okay, I was just about to say, if this is not a shiny, I think I'll end it here. And I'll continue with this stream tomorrow around the same time. And, okay, so 3 shiny oddish. All level 23. So they are identical in every single way. Let's check them all out. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. Okay, so those are the shinies for the first edition of Safari Saturday. This one happened to get Pokeros as well. Shiny Pikachu, and this again. So 3 times the same Pokemon and a shiny Pikachu. Glad I can watch the streams. I'm glad that they make people happy. That's what my goal is. Well, I'm glad, Ahmed, that it got resolved in the end. Yeah, I can see how you would feel bad about that. But yeah, I think... Okay, that's for my yet another... Well, Wednesday, last Wednesday. So, Oddish lovers will love this stream, I guess. And as always, thank you so much for being part of the stream, and see you guys tomorrow. Good night and bye bye.